Welcome back to Washington Watch. Joseph Backholm sitting in for Tony. So thankful that you're with us. We just got done with a conversation with Congressman John Joyce, who was part of the committee that was discussing partial birth abortion with Javier Becerra and got some really unsatisfactory answers. Now to continue this conversation and find out if Secretary Becerra is the only aggressive, enthusiastic pro-abortion advocate in the Biden administration is Connor Semelsberger. Connor, welcome to the program again. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great to be on, Joseph.
Well, tell us, we just heard this negative, discouraging report about Javier Becerra basically wanting to deny that partial birth abortion really is even a thing, or that or even recognize that there's a law against it. Is he the only one in the administration?
Far from it. This actually is what we think is the most pro-abortion cabinet and undersecretaries we've ever seen in our nation's history. HHS Secretary, as you heard, the most pro-abortion advocate, all the way down to Energy Secretary, Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, right? We know what his record is from him campaigning for president in 2020. So almost all facets of the federal government are radical pro-abortion activists, some groomed right from Planned Parenthood themselves, NARAL, Pro-Choice America, CEOs, you name it. That's who's filling Biden's cabinet.
Is that surprising? Because Biden, for a long time was considered the moderate, and he had like this moderate position on the Hyde Amendment, I guess was the one thing he was kind of not aggressively pro-abortion on. How is it that this guy who tried to position himself most of his career as a moderate on abortion comes up with an administration that is so aggressively pro-abortion?
Yeah, so we really saw this creep, early 2000s, jockeying himself to be the VP. He's that under Obama. He's really grown himself into that pro-abortion mold. But the script flipped completely. Hyde Amendment, no longer. Nope, I don't want to support this pro-life protection. And then you're right, it's just gone to the extremes. So it's not surprising, right? We knew where the Democratic Party has gone, and he just had to be the torchbearer for this. Whatever he believes himself, we have no idea. Yeah. But what we know is he's implementing true policies that undermine pro-life protections across America.
Is this connected to the comments that AOC made, a week or two ago, where she was basically like, well, he's actually been better than we expected, which from our perspective is not good. If she's happy with it, that's not going to be good for us, right? But basically, she was saying that this is not moderate old Joe Biden. This is actually pretty radically progressive Joe Biden doing the bidding for the left. Is this kind of connected to that in general, that he's really not driving the ship in the first place?
I think that's exactly right. You think of the Vice President, Kamala Harris. We know her record just recently from the Senate, senator from California, how pro-abortion she is. But it's beyond that. It's really just that ideology just so steep. AOC, the Bernie Sanders platform, which is abortion for all, no matter what reason, paid for by taxpayer dollars on demand. And yeah, it's just past 100 days. We've already broken records in terms of funding for abortion, advocacy overseas in just 100 days. What took Obama almost 8 years to accomplish, he's already exceeded that. And so we can't even know what to expect in the years to come. But I think that's exactly right. There is someone beyond just President Joe up there running this pro-abortion ship.
And I do think, is he actually an octogenarian? He's pretty close to this. But the idea that, moderate, friendly, old, happy Joe Biden, like he prioritizes everything the abortion lobby wants and then kind of all the transgender stuff. It doesn't make sense to me when I think about who this guy is. But when you realize he's probably not actually calling the shots, and he's working for a team of people who are basically like, Joe, this is what we need you to do because we got you elected, then it begins to make more sense. Tell us a little bit more about what it is that you're tracking on the life issues. You mentioned how terrible the first 100 days have been. What's coming?
Yeah, so one thing I really want to draw attention to. So it was a pro-life victory under Trump, Title X family planning program, millions of dollars each year for family planning across the country. Trump reformed the program so that it could no longer go to abortion businesses. Planned Parenthood withdrew. They sacrificed a lot of money. One of the top priorities for the Biden administration coming is rewriting that so millions of dollars can flow back to the abortion industry. One catch, though. So we know Planned Parenthood supported Joe Biden's presidency, and in his party platform, he mentioned, one of my policy platforms is to send money back to Planned Parenthood, an organization, breaching tons of federal laws against abortion lobbying and such. So this regulation, though, is a proposed rule that you folks at home can comment on. Let the government know. Do you want your taxpayer dollars funding Planned Parenthood or not? So you can reach that on our action page and make a comment. That closes Monday, May 17th, so it's coming up quick. But this is a great way for folks to engage and let the federal government know what policies you do support and which ones you are directly opposed to.
Where can people find that page and make that comment?
Yeah, so on frcaction.org, you can find all our action alerts, but specifically this one on Title 10, and again, making sure Planned Parenthood does not receive our taxpayer dollars. But beyond that, we have a broader source called frcaction.org/Biden, one-stop shop, everything you need to know about the Biden administration, his policies on life, family, religious freedom, the personnel he supported, like Javier Becerra and the others I mentioned, and then also his historical record. You'll also find there the fact that he has supported the partial birth abortion ban that we were just talking about year after year as a senator from Delaware. So all that's right on frcaction.org/Biden.
And I also know that we're heading into appropriations season here in Washington, D.C. Are there life-specific issues that you're going to be tracking?
Yes. So this appropriations process is where the government takes all of your federal taxpayer dollars and funds the government for the whole next year. Really big process. So we're tracking a lot. The Hyde Amendment protects taxpayer funds for abortions. The Helms Amendment oversees abortions and conscience protections for healthcare providers, all in our federal laws. But the fight happens every single year. We need to stand up every single year for these riders, and this is probably the biggest fight we've ever undergone in 40 plus years. And so we'll be right at the forefront of that, making sure we protect the consciences of the American people.
Where's the best place people can track that?
Yep, again, on frc.org, you'll see a lot of our resources tracking all these bills, and hopefully by the time they're passed in September, government's not shut down and the Hyde Amendment's intact.
Connor Semelsberger, thank you so much for being with us.
Glad to be here.